another week of Builder Collective talks, chats,
Yes.
conversations,
Yeah.
dialogue,
You
whatever,
got it.
whatever we're calling this. We are hanging out here on Wednesdays and really just chatting, but also really want to give you tips as an entrepreneur. We know that entrepreneurs have lots of challenges. Some we bring on ourselves, right, Connor?
Yes. Amen.
And, and some are just, the nature of the beast. But we really want to chat through today. Connor and I were talking about how we can turn our struggles into goals. And so earlier this week, that's what I did my 1 minute motivation on. So I've been thinking a lot about that this week and in my own life, recognizing those struggles and turning those into goals. But that's actually how I start every session and really even how we start our Builder Collective Network monthly meeting, right? We all talk
Yeah.
about wins and then we go into struggles. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, so I'm super curious, Connor, if you had to identify your top 3 struggles, pain points right now, what would you say those are?
I've got a list. That's all I got.
No more than 3. We
Yeah,
need no
yeah.
more.
You gotta help me out with all 10 of them, Christy, today.
3 is the max. Okay.
Yeah, no, I would say, I think what I find in a lot of entrepreneurs and of course myself, top one is doing too much, putting too much on your plate, and then not knowing what to do with everything that's on your plate, and
Mm,
kind of get overwhelmed with all the little things that you miss the main thing that you're doing or what you're trying to accomplish. And therefore you just become scatterbrained. You become, lost. You're like, what am I doing with my life? Where am I going? All that type of stuff.
yeah.
And I think that it can turn into burnout, at a level. And so I feel like that's kind of honestly been the last couple of weeks for me, is just like, I feel like I've had too much on my plate. I've been really struggling with that. And then I've kind of lost sight of what I'm really doing in
Mm,
life with insurance and that type of stuff. And then it just gets so jumbled that it's like, wait, what? I thought I was doing this, and yet I'm over here now and doing something completely different, And so I feel like that's been a big thing, a big struggle,
mhm.
and trying to like hone in on and really where to start to backtrack, because now you have all this stuff on your plate and you don't they're not finished, they're not done, but yet you need to backtrack to get to the place that you started to continue to push that forward. So I feel
Yeah.
like there's 3 things in there, all together, maybe. But that's what
Okay,
I say, like,
so
that's big, so
yeah, I think what I hear is you feel overextended.
yes. Yeah.
Okay. Overwhelmed? Would you say overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Is that a feeling on
Yeah,
yeah?
I think it gets to the point where it's like I just kind of want to turn my brain off because it won't stop thinking about all the little things,
Mm,
And so it's like I gotta just turn it off, and so then I spend hours with my brain turned off, and then nothing gets done,
I
Uh,
see. And then
yeah,
you feel more overwhelmed.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes. And then I think 3, is burnout. Like
mhm,
it's almost like in sequential order, we overextend,
yeah,
we feel overwhelmed, which causes us to overthink because when we overthink, we're trying to problem solve. Like that's really what our brain's trying to do. It's like the circle on the internet, like it's just going, going,
yeah,
going, and it's trying to problem solve. And if it
yeah,
can't problem solve, so it just keeps going. And then it leads to burnout and exhaustion.
mhm, yes. It's like a
Yes.
continuous buffer. Like I know what you're talking about.
Yes, yes, whatever that little circle thing is. Yes, buffer, that's a good word. Um,
Yep.
which I love that you're bringing this up because honestly, this is the MO of every entrepreneur,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I agree.
So when I see people with multiple things on their plate, multiple startups, multiple opportunities, I'm always like, yep, there's an entrepreneur, and hey, come join us in the entrepreneur network.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because it really is a tell. Like, and it's the strength and weakness because entrepreneurs thrive on looking for opportunity. And so all the opportunities, that's like an Achilles heel for us. It's like opportunity, like let's
Yeah.
go. And so whatever our long-term goal is, whether it's to make money or make the world a better place or whatever, when we see those opportunities, boom, we just go in. But what happens is we do so much that we're not effective at anything. So we have to constantly be on guard for that. I have to constantly be on guard for that.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the I feel like the appeal is to when it
Mm.
gets to that point, the appeal is to just drop it all and start something new, because it's just you get in this cycle and it's like, okay, sweet, yeah, like my brain is fried. So this all this
Yeah.
because like you start out with one thing, right? And it's like, this is working. I'm super excited, super pumped. Then you add 10 things and then it's like overwhelmed. Well, apparently this whole thing is not working. So I'm going to let it go and then I'm going to start something new. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's not, you're just adding all these little things on top of the main thing that you're trying to get done, and that's
Yes.
what's coming out is like, flight. Let's just start something new instead of like taking each one of the 10 things off in order to get back to the focal point. So I can see how it's appealing. That's what I'm trying to say, like the appealing of just
Right.
let me start something new, because I could just
Right.
jump this off and yeah. So
And that's easy for every entrepreneur to start something new. It's not usually in our natural skill set to maintain things, to be mundane, to go to the grind of life. So it's like once it gets to that point that it needs maintenance and all of that, then we'd go, oh, let's just jump over here.
yeah.
And that's actually okay if we make the systems to do this so that someone else can manage it and take it, and we can either sell it or have someone else manage it, then we can jump. But we jump too early.
Yeah. And then we have like a bunch of failing businesses that, or startups, ton of failing startups that didn't get off the ground because,
Yes.
the cycle. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So awareness is so huge for that. But also today we're really talking about like how do we turn our struggles into goals?
Right.
And so for you, like how would we turn those struggles into goals? So first thing is assess your schedule.
Hmm. Yep.
I'm assuming you do you time block most of your
Yes.
schedule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need,
And
and I need to get better at that too. Like I do time block, but like sometimes spontaneity, however you say that word,
spontaneity.
yeah, thank you. Gets the better of me, and I'm like, oh yeah, sweet. I have this time, blocked, but I want to do this instead, or whatever. So, and there's room for that, right? You always say like you can't just be so strict where there's not any freedom because then you'll just, get tired of
Yes.
that too. So there's room for everything, but try to stay as close as possible to that time block. I would say is very important. Also
Yeah.
writing down everything that's on your plate and to recognize, because I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of times where in the past I have not known what's on my plate, or yeah, it's like I know what's on my plate, but I don't really know everything all at once. So writing that down and knowing, okay, these things are on my plate. I need to look at each one and, really give it value. Like, what value do I want to give each one? Or, and are
Yes.
those things that
Mm.
need to be taken off? Because most likely, probably if you have 10 things on your plate, most of the time, like 6, 7 of those could be taken off. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to have that, type of thing. So I feel like
Yeah.
that's important.
I think to like you said, prioritize and even know your own core values. Like, what's important to me? Why am I doing this? Like, is it to make the most money possible? Is it to change the world? Is it to equip people? And then once you figure out the end goal, your why, let's say that your why, then you can look at your schedule and go, I need to prioritize these things. So these are serving my goal, these are not serving my goal. Let's put them lower on the
Yes.
list. So for you, just prioritizing those things. And usually we have multiple reasons why we do things we do. Like
Right.
we all need to make money, but
Yeah.
then we also have passions. And then we also like, hey, I just want to have fun and hang out with family and connect. And so those are priorities as well. And it's always finding the balance of those. But I love what you brought up, which is the burnout recipe. So this is a major major recipe for burnout, right? And yes, and that's why burnout is in your mindset. So if you think through your schedule, is there anything like automatically that you're like, okay, like I shouldn't have said yes to that, or I need to say no to that in this season, or this needs
Yeah.
to come off? Are there things that you can think of?
Yeah, I mean, I think that so I do some painting on the sides or some side work, and I think sometimes, even though like, have you seen the economy? Have you seen the gas prices? Like it's like
I
I
see.
need to
Right,
make
right.
money. Like I really need to make money, and that's true. There's a part
Hmm.
where it's like I got to do this, but I think that if I want you know, my main thing, insurance or even, the builders collective. If I want to see this go and be my main thing, I've got to cut time out of giving my time to just making money, that type of stuff,
Hmm.
to sometimes not necessarily making money in the short term, but in the long,
Yeah.
you know, really cutting back on those types of stuff in order to see what my passion to see that grow and be able to do that full time and long term. Sometimes short term money is not it does not help you with long term money, you know. And so I feel like that's one thing. Like doing side jobs is can can get in the way basically. So I
Yeah.
probably could take that off my plate, So
Yeah. Yeah. Assessing that. That's good. That's
yeah,
good. Well, I love what you said there about like assigning things value, even if you did like a one through five or something like that.
yeah,
And we're like, okay, this is number one priority. This is number five priority. And then rearrange your schedule that way. That's really an amazing tool to use.
yeah,
I
that's
love
good.
that.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's chat more about this next week and see where
Yeah.
you're at.
Yes, I
After
agree.
you take a closer look at the schedule. And honestly, like, to be transparent, I am always doing this because I stay pretty maxed, and so it's like if one thing comes on, something has to come off. And so I almost feel like it's a lifestyle,
Yeah,
don't you?
I would agree. I feel like, I mean, when we first talked, oh my goodness, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when you were coaching me, like we talked about this, you know what I mean,
Mm,
and we walked through this and doing the same thing. So I feel like if it is a lifestyle, if I don't maintain it, then it turns to where I have 10, 20 things on my plate and it's like I'm overwhelmed and burnout is on the horizon, that type of stuff.
yes.
So I feel like you're absolutely right. I think it is a lifestyle. And when we lose, that's what's so good about, you know, having someone like you, having the Builders Collective is like just a simple reminder. Hey, have you valued, the 10 things that's on your plate this week? I feel like that's so important for our field. And I have to do it often as well. I need to do it more, obviously. So,
Yeah. Well, you know what I was thinking? So I have something that I learned from a coach. He recommends putting what he calls CEO Power Hour in your schedule every single week for 1 hour. And so I have that. And during that time, that's one of the things I'm looking at is my schedule. Like, am I on track with with numbers? Do I need to take something off my schedule to get on track? And so I think even if you start with once a month, putting a time block of an hour to be assessing your schedule would really help save the burnout. And I know for me, when I start feeling like I'm on a merry-go-round and it's like, whoa, like I'm just going round and round and like there's never a breath, it's like, okay, something's off here.
Yeah.
But if we continually assess that and time block it and make it a priority, hopefully we won't get to that point. That's the goal.
Yeah. That's good. I love it. That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So time block that hour. Once a week's great, but once a month at least.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. This
That's good.
schedule assessment.
That's good. Awesome. Awesome. Well,
Awesome.
hey, if you guys struggle with the same thing that I'm struggling with, we would love to help you out on a monthly, a weekly basis in Builders Collective Network. So please join us. We'd love to help out as much as we can. Again, May 1st, the price goes up from $35. So please go sign up now and be a part of our next Builders Collective Network meeting. And then also just be a part of the community and help grow you and help grow us and what we want for our future. So we love you guys so much. And